It is not an end of Biafra. It is the beginning of good things for Biafra, especially popularity, celebration, commercialization, industrialization, political fame about Biafra is building up since yesterday. And Biafra has begun to be a topicality on CNN, Al Jazeera, BBC, Fox News, TBN, even 700 Club. Everybody is discussing about Ekpa, Biafra agitation. So the cloud of Biafra agitation began to thicken up the more since yesterday. Though I know from many angles, in many areas, people were celebrating, and those, if you ask me, are the enemies of Igbo man. There are many Igbo men that were celebrating yesterday. If you ask me, I will tell you, those are ignorant Igbos that are celebrating out of lack of knowledge. They have not actually acknowledged what Ekpa's times in Biafra agitation. So when Ekpa was invited by Finland police, they quizzed him, and still, started gathering, facts and figures about what Ekpa was about to do or was doing. When Ekpa was raising fund, often Ekpa was beginning to raise fund. They were actually thinking that those fundraising should be what? Investigated. And that arrest, many people did not know that the arrest wasn't aimed at Biafra agitation. That is what people did not know. The arrest was, the invitation was, based on the fundraising that Ekpa began, to do in the recent time. Ekpa started raising fund. Where is this fund? Funds. So that's why Eagle Eyes of Finland police, caught fundraising led by Simon Ekpa on social media, bordering on terrorism across the world, and what United Nations, has legislated about funding of, terrorism in Europe and other part of the world. Ekpa was invited to be investigated, and the investigation is on course. They are grilling him as I'm talking to you now. The interrogation is going on until they come out with facts and figures. And let me tell you, people that are celebrating and rejoicing, I don't want you people to forget the fact that Scandinavian countries, of which Finland is one of them, could never be that blind, could never be that ignorant, could never be that wicked as Nigerian country or Africa country. See, they are more advanced than any other country in Europe. I mean, the Scandinavians. They are more advanced than Britain. Scandinavia is more developed than British country in such a way you can never see any Scandinavian man in London looking for work. They are well respected, they are well funded, they are well paid, the security payment there, they pay both children, they pay both mama and papa. Very, very advanced, very, very developed, more developed than Britain. So do you know where I'm going? I mean, they can never ever violate anybody's rights. If you're a citizen of Finland, you have your rights. If you're a citizen of England, citizen of London, citizen of UK, as a whole, United Kingdom, your right might be violated anywhere in the world. You're on your own. How many examples to cite? Many examples to now to back up my point. A British citizen was at least hanged by China in 1989 to 1990. Everybody begged for him. People came out to beg for him or her. I think it was a girl. They killed her. Britain could not stop China. But it can't happen to an American. Americans are the #1 citizen in the world. It can't happen to Finland. The Finland, among the Scandinavian countries, are the most advanced, developed countries in the world. They value their citizens lack nothing. Simon Ekpa is a Finnish citizen. Nobody can do Simon Ekpa anything. And by the way, let me tell you, how do you Igbos that hate Simon Ekpa and Biafrans actually know that Nigeria and Finland has, expulsion, extradition pacts asking for Simon Ekpa's head in Nigeria? Extradite him into Nigeria? Is that your question? It can never be. They don't have such agreement or pact together as the two countries have no military bilateral pact or agreement. So it can't work. Ekpa is not sponsoring terrorism. Alhajis, local emirs, Garbas, Ibrahim, the Chatimas and Kachimas, they are the ones sponsoring, allegedly sponsoring what? Terrorism in northern Nigeria. And various names, their names have been submitted by UAE government. The people that are sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria, their names were written, submitted to Buhari administration. Today, did the Buhari attend to it? If not that he has interest in terrorism, banditry, Boko Haram in Nigeria, he would have looked into those lists and begin to arrest. Nobody was arrested. The sponsors of Boko Haram in UAE where they are staying, in Arab world where they are living, their names were taken, brought back down to Nigeria for questioning and investigation. The present administration has not done anything about it. The previous administration did not do anything about it. So what are we saying? Today they want Ekpa to die because of what? Fundraising. The investigation is going on to know what Ekpa is using the money for. If that money is using to fund the emancipation of Biafra, nothing will happen. It is the right of Mr. Ekpa, of course, Nnamdi Kanu, everybody within the Igbo contraction to raise funds to make sure that Biafra comes to stay. Okay, it is everybody's right to agitate for his own nationality. Simon Ekpa is agitating for Biafra is not wrong. Go and investigate. United Nations knows about it. United States knows about Biafra emancipation and agitation. That fundraising, they must know where it goes. In total, I am still here supporting emancipation of sovereign state of Biafra.
So, looking at now that this has happened, there have been shouting, a lot of noise online saying that even some fellow Igbo persons are still. Is it that they are not being sanitized enough, or can we say it is still some fraction of the Igbo people that have been causing the chaos happening in a certain part that is being tagged to be, or maybe some are saying that what it is some politician that is sponsoring that, to bring that this agitation due to selfish reason.
Let me tell you, if you look at emancipation of Biafra, many politicians in Igbo land are behind this. They are funding it to make sure that Biafra comes to be. Of course, they are tired of Nigerian nation. Nigeria is in chaos for how many years now? Clueless persons, clueless presidents, clueless, federal government agents. They are not doing the needful, and the economy has been, rubbish and liquidated to the last degree that we could no longer at least afford 3 square miles in Nigeria. That's why you see some politicians in Igbo land and South, acknowledging the fact that Nigeria has no reason to be good or well again. Nigeria is sick. That's why you see some politicians funding Biafra emancipation. Then again, terrorism or terror attack going on in Igbo land is not sponsored by Simon Ekpa. Rather, political opponents in Igbo land, political, divisiveness in Igbo land orchestrated by Fulani hegemony who have the political will and power and prerogative in the north to divide other section of the country and subjugate them to division within their contraction or region. They are responsible for those killings, terror attacks, kidnappings. Most of the kidnappings and terrorists terror attack happening in the southeastern Nigeria, if you ask the victims are telling us that the perpetrators, the assailants, are Timle Fulanis, people from the northern region. They often spoke their languages. These are testimonies from the victims that the people that abducted us, our abductors, they spoke Fulani, they spoke Hausa, they spoke all those tribal languages in the northern region. Have you seen it? I'm telling you that the north should be questioned by United Nations. How come about introduction of terrorism in the northern Nigeria? Why? Iran has come out to at least stabilize Nigerian government by sending into northern region again another group of terrorists called Lakurawas. Lakurawas are based in Sokoto State. They disallowed many villagers in their various communities. Currently, as I'm talking to you, collecting taxes and many tolls unreasonable from these villagers in northern Nigeria. Yet, Nigerian government has not done anything about it. They are funding people to go to Finland to stop Simon Ekpa. They are funding kidnappers, abductors to go and hold him in Finland and bring him back to Nigeria, as they did to Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya. So what am I trying to say here? There is no problem with Ekpa. The reason why they hold Ekpa is not because of BIAFRA agitation. It is because of fundraising. They raise fund and raise fund. They want to know the reason why they are raising the fund. Then the Igbo man, as you said, that are jubilating and jubilating that Ekpa is their problem in the southeastern Nigeria, especially sit-at-home enforcement. What are they talking about? Would they know where he is aiming his reason at by agitating, using sit-at-home enforcement? He is aiming at freeing MNK, Nnamdi Kanu. That was the reason why. Kanu is his brother, and nobody could stop him from doing all he could to make sure that Nnamdi Kanu is let off the hook by federal government of Nigeria. The law, the constitution of the country is not holding him. The office of Asura is holding Nnamdi Kanu and the plan. To me, it is all nonsense about all this, about this rumor of, Simon Ekpa arrest, and his quest for extradition is baseless, meaningless, on what's called for. That's my word.
Thank you very much.